"I need help." On February 15th, Iraq War veteran Richard Miles came to this Veterans Administration hospital in Des Moines, Iowa, and told the staff, quote, "I need help," according to the hospital's records. Miles had told friends he was going to check himself in. He was diagnosed with worsened PTSD, anxiety, and insomnia, but Richard Miles was not admitted to the hospital. 5 days later, the 40-year-old who had served 3 tours in Iraq was found dead in the woods, having taken a toxic amount of sleeping pills, his body frozen in the elements. Now those who loved Richard Miles want to know whether the VA did enough for him that February night.
That was his cry for help, and it was not taken seriously or received the way it should have been received.
Richard Miles was one of the premier presenters at the Science Center of Iowa, beloved and quite literally a picture-perfect employee.
He was passionate and knowledgeable about science himself, and he went beyond that. His passion extended to sharing that knowledge with others. And as excited as he would get about viewing stars in his own, he was tenfold more excited when he could share that with others.
What this popular Iraq War veteran did not share with most is that he suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder.
He knew the date and where he was, you know, when he had shot and killed people.
Katie Hopper is Miles' ex-girlfriend and mother to their daughter, Emmeline. She says he left Iraq, but it never left him.
He was very, very aware of what he was doing, that he was ending people's lives, even if it was for the greater good.
And it stayed with him.
Absolutely, absolutely it did.
Medical records obtained by CNN state that years after Miles returned from Iraq in 2004, he, quote, began to experience depression with suicidal attempts. He recalled seeing dead bodies and often had graphic, violent dreams. Friends and family saw Miles struggle with his PTSD, but they say he was doing generally okay until January, when he disappeared. VA records show friends called the Iowa VA to look for Miles and told the VA they were filing a missing persons report with local law enforcement. Miles finally responded days later to his friend Harry Aller, who had reached out via text.
He wrote back, "I didn't mean to get people worried. I just need to spend some time at the hospital to figure things out."
Thankfully, Miles returned and chose to stay with Katie Hopper. But after only a few days, he became restless.
I said, "Do you feel like you need to get out of the house? Do you want to go for a drive? Do you want to go for a walk?" And he said, "No, I'm going to go to the VA." And I go, "Right now?" "Yeah, I'm going to go right now."
Where must he have been to have taken these steps?
He had to be in a place where he was going to harm himself mentally. And the thought of that would lead him to want to get help, because he would be letting down his daughter, his son, his friends, and that was not an option for him.
On February 15th, Miles left several of his belongings with Hopper and went to the hospital. It was a familiar place to the veteran, whose medical records show a long history of suicidal acts and thoughts. From 2008 to 2009, Miles was hospitalized 4 times for PTSD, made 2 attempts to hang himself, and brought a gun into a separate hospital ward with the plan to kill himself. On February 15th, Miles told the hospital attendant he needed help. But doctor's notes say he denied feeling suicidal when asked.
He came home about 3 hours later.
Were you surprised?
Yes. And I was like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "I'm done." And I said, "What do you mean you're done?" I thought you were going to be days or weeks even. He said, "Yeah, me too, but they just gave me medication and sent me home and said my psychiatrist would follow up with me this week to set up an appointment."
Miles did not make it that long. He instead walked into these woods where he and Hopper used to go and never came back. After taking the toxic dose of sleeping pills, Miles was found frozen to death in this clearing, wearing no jacket, no shoes, and most infuriating, with no clear reason why his life had to end like this.
The VA failed him. I feel like they failed him.
The VA tells CNN that the emergency room staff, quote, followed proper mental health screening procedures, and that Miles had been given medication he indicated had helped him in the past. They refused to answer any more of our questions, citing federal privacy laws. If proper procedures were in fact followed, it must be asked if the VA policies for dealing with suicidal veterans are adequate, not just in Iowa, but nationwide.
We're missing the boat. with these most at-risk veterans, and not enough is being done systemically in order to protect them. We can't just hand these guys pills. That's not the answer.
Brandon Coleman developed a suicide prevention program at the VA hospital in Phoenix, where he says it's desperately needed. But now the disabled Marine Corps veteran says he's blowing the whistle on insufficient care for his peers. A 2012 VA report suggested about 22 veterans commit suicide each day in the U.S. Some of them seek help at VA centers and other hospitals and don't get the help they need.
I came forward mainly because of the veteran suicides. They're not being handled properly.
In January, a different concerned employee at the Phoenix VA secretly recorded a staff meeting, and with it, the astonishing admission that suicidal veterans there had, quote, bolted out the door.
I think there's been 5 in the last week.
We've been really lucky that nothing bad has happened in these specific incidences that just happened. But it was sheer luck that nothing happened.
Coleman is now nearing his 2nd month of paid administrative leave. He says it's retaliation for his whistleblowing. In a statement to CNN, the Phoenix VA said, quote, "We have strengthened our protocols and approaches for how we care for suicidal veterans. We continue to look for ways to improve the care and appreciate suggestions made by our employees and others." Experts say, however, that even the best of intentions may not be enough.
I think the VA is in the lead on treatment of PTSD. Are they doing as much as they could be? It's no secret that the VA is an overwhelmed system, and it's no secret to anybody that the VA can't handle it all.
The friends and family of Richard Miles want the VA to learn from their tragedy. They want the VA to figure out what they could have done differently with Miles, so the next veteran is admitted and helped.
What do you not have now because this happened?
I don't have a friend. My daughter doesn't have her father. He just taught so many people. He was so great.
The Iowa VA, however, seems more focused on defending itself than on learning from any mistakes.
I really do feel as though the VA failed him. And ultimately, I feel like it's kind of on them.